Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Get Well card, and we're going to be using a technique called Faux silk. It's definitely not a technique that I've invented. I actually found it on Split Coast Stampers. I was just looking for something new to do, and I think I tried this years ago, but I haven't done it in quite a long time. So I'm going to just show you how to make this card. So we're going to get started, and our first piece is a piece of real red, and that's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And then I have two pieces of basic black. Both of them are 5 1/4 by 4, and one is just going to be a layering piece, and one we're actually going to work with. So I'll put those aside, and then I have a piece of tissue paper. And this is just your regular white gift wrap tissue paper that you would use. And I cut this bigger than the basic black. So it's approximately 5 3/4 by 5, but you just want it a little bit bigger than the piece you're going to be putting it on top of. So we're going to start, and we're going to start stamping on this using the very Versailles set. And this is in the annual catalog. We're going to be using the leaves from that set, and I'm just going to be stamping them over and over onto the tissue. So I'm just going to start in one spot and work my way over the whole piece. And I'm just going to vary how far down it comes each time, so it doesn't look like they're all identical. Let's see, maybe if I go in like this here. And again, we're just working to cover up the tissue paper. And the very ends are going to be cut off, so I'm not going to worry too much about those. I keep moving this. It's driving me nuts. All right. Then we're going to do this. And I am going to stamp right up in that corner just a little bit. It's probably going to be cut off, but just to make sure. All right, maybe this one spot. I said I wasn't worried about the edges. Now here I go. That's all right. All right. Good, good. All right, so we'll put that aside. And then what you want to do is make sure the ink is dry, but it dries very, very quickly. And then you just want to crumple it up. And then you're going to smooth it back out very gently so you're not ripping it. And then we're going to take our base piece of the basic black. That was the 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to take a glue stick, and I'm just going to cover the whole piece of cardstock in glue. And you want to make sure you get the whole thing covered and that you don't have any like bubbles of glue. Like, let me see if I can get one. See how that, there's a little bit of extra glue right there. You just want to make sure that's smoothed out, because that can rip your tissue paper when you're putting it on. So we'll just get this whole thing covered really well. That's a lot of glue up there. Let's try and spread that out a little bit. I think I'm stuck to my grid paper. Yep, I really went over the edges. Let me just grab, I don't want to get this stuck on anything else, so let me just grab another piece of grid paper here. I should have put another one down. All right, so you don't need to go to the edges that much, because obviously then you're going to have a gluey mess. So let's just switch this out. There we go. I just don't want to get it all stuck on things I'm not supposed to stick it on. All right, so then I think that looks pretty good. Maybe right here. Let me just, we'll smooth that out a little bit more. Okay, I think that'll be good. So then we're going to take our tissue paper and we're going to place it over where we glued and just gently press it down over the whole piece. And you want some wrinkles, so you just want to push out any bubbles, and you just want to gently smooth it. Let me see if I can pick it up now. And then you can see it looks a little bit like silk anyways. You can see all the ridges in it. And like I said, you just want to smooth out anything that's like bubbled up or has a big air pocket in it. And you want to be careful. I want to just show you, these were ones I was practicing on, and this had like too much glue in one spot on it, and so I ripped it. And then on this one, I had ink on my hands and it transferred to the paper. So just be careful with that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to just trim this extra off, and you don't have to be very careful because we're going to be trimming it with our trimmer as well, just to get the extra off here so we can stick it through our paper trimmer. There's not really that much on that side. All right, so now I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in, and I'm just going to, on the basic black, trim off 1/8 of an inch on each side. So I didn't get that close, so we're going to really butt it up with the basic black here. There we go. And we're just going to do 1/8 of an inch on the black. So your first cut is the hardest, figuring out where to line it up. That looks good. And then we'll use that as our guide. And you could trim it to the size you wanted it first, but then I found it really hard to get a nice straight edge when I was trimming off the tissue paper, and I just wanted it to look a little nicer. All right, I think that'll be good. And again, this is just going on a layering piece, so if it's a little off, it'll be fine. So I have a little glue on the back, so I'm going to lay this face down while I do my other pieces. Actually, you know what? We'll adhere it right to the black. That way I don't have to worry about it. So when you're adhering it, you want to make sure you get right into the corners with your snail or whatever adhesive you're using, because it does have a tendency to curl up just a little bit. So just to make sure it's down pretty well. And then we're going to just layer it right on here, right in the middle, and give it a good press. So that's that piece, and then we'll finish up the card with our other pieces. So I have some Whisper White here, and I already put the layering Real Red through the Big Shot. So that's going to be the scallop circle. We're going to make this flower right here, and we're going to be using the Healing Hugs stamp set, and this is also in the annual catalog. Oh, oops, it's right here. So I'm just going to come in with my Real Red. Let me just put that aside for a quick minute. Ink it up, give it a good press, and we're going to put that through the Big Shot with the circle die in just a minute. I'm just going to get my other piece ready, and you know what I'm missing? There it is. I have a piece cut from the Ornate Frames in the basic black, and the Ornate Frames dies were in the, these are the circles. The Ornate Frames were in the holiday catalog last season, but they did carry them over, and I'll just give you a peek. These are some great frames to add some detailing to any of your projects. All right, so we're going to be using this one, and I have the other piece out. And this piece right here, and these layer up very nicely. So this one, we're going to be stamping basic black on Real Red. I just have some scrap here, and there we go. Wishing you a quick and complete recovery. And we're just going to ink that up. There we go. And then we're going to run these through the Big Shot. Now the circles I used for the flower and the scallop, let me just see here. They're approximately, this one's approximately 2.5, a little bit less. And then this one is just over 2.5. Just so you have an idea of which ones to use. And then we're going to use this one and this for the Big Shot. So let me grab the Big Shot, put these pieces aside for a moment. I don't have a ton of room here, so it's tight quarters. So we're going to put the circle on with the circle die and the sentiment with this ornate frames die that wants to move on me. There we go. Whoop. A little more. There we go. Okay. So we'll just run these through the Big Shot. Alrighty, so we're going to pop these out. Oop, that one doesn't want to come off. We'll just use this. My plates are so old that they stick sometimes to them. Alright, so now we just need to put these together. So this is going to be put on this piece, the ornate frames on the ornate frames. And we're just going to pop that on. Okay, and then this is going to go on the layering circle, scallop circle we did. There we go. And then we're going to just put them on our card. So we already adhered the tissue, the faux silk, onto that base. So we're going to then adhere this, whoops, right onto our red, real red base, like that. And then we're going to take this, we're going to pop this up on dimensionals, and I have some of the black dimensionals for this since we're using black cardstock. And these were also in the holiday catalog but have been carried over, at least for now. We'll see when the annual catalog comes out, but at least for now you can get them. And then we're just going to put this to the edge in the middle like that. We're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. And then let's see, we will get this popped up like so. We'll just layer it so it meets a little bit and you're all set. So there's the one we made. Here is the original. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you need to get anything, I'd love a chance to work with you if you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. All of my links will be listed down below. Thank you again.